All right, welcome back. Mount Madness 2017. We have a new co-host this week, Daniel Hartman, two-time champ. How's it feel, champ? Former champ. Yeah, knocked out last week.
Yes, I did.
Hurley took a swing and.
Elliot, I would like to clarify now that I've had some time to think about this. I was off the whole complete week.
Yeah.
Every single day I was off that week, so I blame my teammates and not myself for this loss.
Tough break. There's always a Christie contest, right?
Yes.
Exactly. All right, getting right into the numbers. Some big matchups this week. Karszewski, Christina Revich. Christina fought all she could, but the online king, Ellen, who's leveraging Staples and Amazon, is moving on to the Elite Eight. Down here, big battle, Chad Harrison, Sean Blair. Not going to lie, Sean Blair getting a little up there in years, just didn't have the staying power anymore. Harrison, over 230% of his weekly target this week. Big number. Dan's phone's ringing. Don't worry, it's live TV. We can't control these things, folks. The man that knocked out Dan Hartman, Pete Hurley, I believe he was asleep at the wheel last week because Pete did not do very much. Didn't put up much of a fight for Mr. Todd Teacher, the handsome gentleman out west, moves on to the Elite Eight.
You're welcome, Todd.
So we have Stampede's oldest employee, Mark Tuzo, versus the oldest looking employee, Jim Leibold. Gray-haired toddler, we like to call him. Leibold, big week, 90% of his target, moves on to the Elite Eight, setting up a big West Coast battle over here in this bracket for next week for the Final Four. Another West Coast battle last week. The Reverend Jonathan Martin.
Do you mind if I do that?
No.
Are you sure?
The Dallas Texan, Michael Butler, goes down. J-Mart, over 300% of his weekly target last week. Big week for J-Mart.
That's just Canada. Let's just skip Canada. Who cares?
No. Well, we do have to do Canada by default, but Brynja
Put
actually...
Thea over there.
We can't do that. We can't change the bracket seedings. What we can do is move Brynja on. Brynja did a great job this week. Scott McDougal, after a huge week last week, couldn't keep the momentum going to get himself into the Elite Eight. So we still do have Canada representing, but Brynja, you've got a very tough battle in Jonathan Martin. Lubick Hathaway, DMR. Hathaway looking to take down his boss, but again, the magic word runs out. Lubick ends up taking that one after his big upset of Tom Keefe last week. Side note here to folks, Tom Keefe on the IR last week put up 467% of his weekly contest target, and he wasn't even here. So much credit to Tom's team, and again, Tom, we hope you feel better. And then down at the bottom, Grant Hill, Mick Gilchrist. You get lost in those eyes of Grant Hill, but he will lull you to sleep, and then he will hit you with 303% of his weekly target and move on to the Elite Eight. Lubick, he's coming for you, guns blazing. He's looking to give you a beating like they do in the Southeast. So that is your matchup for next week. This is your matchup to get in the Final Four. Karszewski, Harrison, Teacher, Leibold, Martin, Brynja, Chris Lubick, Grant Hill. What are you thinking here, Dan? What do you think? As a former champ, what does Allen have to do to keep his momentum going?
Well, I would continue selling Mustang below cost to Amazon. That's been a very good strategy for him so far, so good job, Allen.
This is unconfirmed. I mean, this is unconfirmed.
Chad, I will call you after this conversation to have some advice. I have some personal advice for you as well.
You don't want a DMR guy to win?
I do not want a DMR guy to win, I'm sorry, no.
Oh, wow.
Todd and Lebo, that's a pretty fair one. Todd's my boyfriend, as we all know, so I'm going to kind of root for him. But I do like the oldest living toddler. He's pretty cute. J-Mar, I'm going to go with J-Mar on that one for Brynja. I don't know much about Canada, but I just believe in my J-Mar. Lubick and Grant Hill, I'm going to give that one to Lubick. Grant, I'm sorry. I think you had a big week. Your luck is going to run out here. I'm giving that one to Lubick.
So you think Lubick has like a big HSN area or something?
I think Lubick's going to pull through on this one. I do.
Excellent. Well, there you have it, folks. We got some expert commentary from a two-time champ in Dan Hartman, knocked out by Pete Hurley. That's got to sting. Still,
it does. It still does.
Like a punch in the nose?
It really does.
Yeah, I bet it does. All right, folks, that's it for me. I'm Pat Booth. You got Dan Hartman, Tom Cavanaugh behind the camera. We'll see you next week with our Final Four.